Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Vanessa. I just made myself the most delicious pumpkin spice latte, I think ever since last week, getting it at my local coffee shop and realizing that, hey, I actually really do like pumpkin spice lattes. I wanted to make it at home so that way I'm not constantly going out and buying a cup of coffee. I made this delicious pumpkin spice puree syrup. It still needs to cool down, so I'm letting it cool before I seal it with an airtight cap, and then it's going to be in my fridge for about 2 to 3 weeks. I think it'll be good for. I'm definitely in the fall mood right now. We're gearing up for our trip to Boston next week. We also have a really quick trip home this weekend. Devin's little brother is turning 21, so they're having a big party at home. I'm also speaking at a school for my other brother-in-law. He's a teacher, and he asked me to come and speak to his kids because it's Hispanic Heritage Month, which I'm really honored and excited and nervous to do. I've been working in social media for the past 5 years. I've been doing content creation full-time for the past year, and I actually gained a majority of my following by sharing my dad's story. He grew up in a migrant farm working family and grew up to become a NASA astronaut despite all odds. He has a really inspiring and motivational story, and so I started sharing that on social media. My dad's story turned into an Amazon Prime movie. It's just been such a whirlwind these past couple of years, kind of seeing a journey and sharing his story with, you know, my followers. Me and my dad are really close, and he's taught me a lot about work ethic and, you know, working hard and finding something that you're passionate about and never giving up. That's mainly what I'm going to be talking about with these kids. These kids are between, I think, 8th grade and 6th grade, so it'll be a really great group of people who are probably thinking about what they want to do in life and kind of giving them some motivational words or kind of answering any questions that they have about my dad's story or even about my story. You know, I'm very excited, very nervous. I need to make a presentation, so I'll probably work on that today and tomorrow. We're driving up on Thursday night, so we won't get there till late, and then I speak on Friday, and then our family party is on Saturday, and then we'll come back to LA on Sunday. So it's kind of a hectic weekend, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to vlog at least some of it next week. We'll be home Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're going to Boston, which will be really fun. So the next couple of vlogs will be prepping for that trip, exploring the cities. So it's gonna be so much fun, and I'm really excited. Back to the theme of fall and getting in the spirit of things, we made our pumpkin spice latte this morning. This is giving me inspiration to make a pumpkin empanada. I'm hoping it doesn't take as long as my conchas, but since these are mini empanadas, I'm hoping it doesn't take as long to make the dough because it does use yeast too, but I think it'll be much quicker. I'm really hoping that my bed sheets come in time because I want to put it in this vlog, but I haven't gotten an updated tracking link from the company that I bought them from, so there's a chance they won't get here today or tomorrow, and then we're home for the weekend. It might have to be in next week's vlog. I really wanted to show you guys in this vlog putting together my bed for fall, but it might just have to go in next week's vlog, which I hate that because I really wanted to do it in this one and not have to worry about it next week when I should be prepping for my trip. It's fine. We'll work it out. We'll figure it out, but you guys will see it soon. I'm actually gonna go ahead and get started on making these pumpkin empanadas. This is the cookbook that I'm using. Until my mom makes her own cookbook, this is what I'm using instead. It's Mexico, the cookbook. So far I've only used one recipe from here, and I made like chipotle shrimp and it was so good, but I haven't made their desserts yet, so we're gonna try to find that recipe in here. Cookbooks, I have like a love-hate relationship with them because sometimes they make the recipes just so complicated, like unnecessarily so, and then other times they're really easy. So hopefully this is an easy recipe. If not, then I'll probably go online and find an easier one. So I was correct. This recipe seems a little too complicated for me to do right now, just because it calls for an actual pumpkin or a butternut squash. So you would be making the pumpkin puree from scratch, and I just don't think that's entirely necessary. So I'm gonna find a recipe where I just can use a can of pumpkin puree. It's gonna taste the same. I mean, homemade is definitely better, hence pumpkin spice, but again, we used a can of pumpkin puree for that. We didn't roast our own pumpkins. We're just gonna make our lives a little easier. This recipe is from Isabel Eats. I'll link it in the description below. Pretty simple. I just finished the first step. It's the yeast mixture. So it's just warm water, the yeast, and some sugar. I loosely put some plastic wrap over it, and we're letting this chill for about 5 minutes until it gets nice and bubbly and frothy. I just finished the dough. I added that yeast mixture into the flour, sugar, egg, melted butter, some salt, mixed it all together, and I kneaded it for about 10 minutes. I just did this by hand, but if you have like a mixer, it'll make your life so much easier. If you're kneading it by hand or even in the mixer and it's still a little too sticky, you can add flour little by little until it stops sticking to your hands. Now that this is all good to go, we're gonna keep it in a warm place for about 2 hours for the dough to double in size. I'm actually gonna put it in my oven to let it chill in there. This is our filling. It's pumpkin pie puree with some dark brown sugar, vanilla, and pumpkin spice. Combine it in a saucepan, and I cooked it for about 3 minutes. So now it's cooling in this bowl, and while that cools, we have our bread over here, which has doubled in size. It is massive. It is ready to be rolled out into little balls and filled with our little filling. It's gonna be so much fun. The empanadas are filled and folded. Now I'm just brushing on some egg wash. Honestly, most of them don't look that pretty. Braiding them and sealing the edges is actually much harder than it looks. We are going to put this in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. In goes our empanadas. Our empanadas are all done, and they're so beautiful and perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, not all of them are beautiful and perfect. Some came out a little wonky. Like, you can't even tell I braided this one, but that's okay. One exploded, so I overstuffed this one. And then these two, they're like opening in the sides, so I clearly didn't fold them correctly, but they're still edible, just not as pretty. They're still a little warm, so I haven't tried them yet, but they smell delicious. It's definitely easier than the last recipe I made, but still kind of time consuming because you have to let the dough rise for 2 hours. So I want to say total, it's about 3 to 3.5 hours of actual baking and cooking. So it's not terrible. It's not too bad. Oh, I can't wait to dig into these. Okay, so it's the next day and I really need to pack for my trip home. I haven't started yet. Really need to start. Like I mentioned, I'm speaking at a school tomorrow for Hispanic Heritage Month, which I'm getting more and more nervous about. I have no idea what to wear. I want to show up professional, but not too professional because I am content creator, work in social media, so I'm not like super corporate, like traditional job, but I also want to show up feeling good about myself and looking good. I think speaking to kids 6th through 8th grade makes me really nervous. I don't know why. But from what I hear, they're really excited to have me. They're really excited to hear from me. So that makes me feel a little better, but even a little bit more nervous because I feel like it's high pressure and I've never done something like this. But to be honest, I've seen my dad do this a million times and I think, how hard could it be? Like, no, really hard. Like, I'm really nervous and I haven't spoken in front of that many people in a really long time, if ever. Honestly, I think it's gonna be like 200 kids, but I've seen my dad do it and I feel like I take a lot after him, like not being too shy of those situations and being able to public speak. I think I've inherited his confidence a little bit. I think I'm just psyching myself out, but if I'm prepared, then I have nothing to worry about. I'm actually really excited to do something that's all on my own. So you guys are gonna help me pick out my outfit because I really don't know what to wear. So my first thought is this outfit. It's a matching set. We have these slacks with a blazer. I even got this tailored. It's barely worn, so I feel like this would be a really good option. This is a blazer from Aritzia. It's a very unique pattern. I don't wear it too often. I was thinking maybe I could wear this and maybe dress it down a little bit with jeans and some sneakers, but then the blazer kind of dresses it up a little bit. I also had this blazer I could wear. I feel like these are too boring. I don't know. I feel like I should be professional, but it's also a school setting, so the kids themselves aren't professional, but I definitely don't think I should dress super casual. I should probably just dress like I'm a teacher, like how a teacher would dress. I looked up on Pinterest some corporate outfit ideas, and this is the first thing that pops up, which is what I have. I feel like I could do something like this with like my blazer and have like a skirt underneath maybe. Here's the first option, and while I do really like this set, I don't know if I'm the most comfortable showing my arms. Also, even though I got these hemmed, they're a little long if I wear flats, so I'd have to wear booties, which I don't know if I necessarily want to do. Although maybe I should because I'm really short and I'll probably be the same height as some of these kids, so it might help me a little bit with the height department. I don't know. I do have this matching bodysuit I could wear underneath. Sorry, I like already undid this, but I have this matching bodysuit that I could wear underneath this, and I could then wear this vest unbuttoned to make it a little bit more casual. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so here's what it looks with the bodysuit underneath. I think I'm still gonna keep these buttoned because it looks weird unbuttoned. And then I added these Reebok sneakers because they're a little bit platformed and I feel like boots are a little too much. I want to still come across as approachable and relatable and wear like sneakers and not be too formal, you know? It's just a gray sweater on top. I'm thinking that if it's chilly in the morning, like it's gonna be in San Jose, so I think it's a little bit colder. Maybe a sweater might be the good option to go, but I also have this green one that if I get hot, I could take this off and wear it like this. That way, like my shoulders are still covered and it's still appropriate. I think we're gonna go with this. I'm gonna bring the vest as a backup. If all else fails and I'm not comfortable wearing the sweater over, I'll just keep it on the entire time. But I feel like this is cute and it's more my speed, it's more my style. It's fashionable. I feel cute. I would feel cute taking photos if anyone asked for my photo, which I don't know if it's gonna happen, but if they did, I'd feel cute. I still feel like it's appropriate because I'm not like showing everything, like it's covering up the majority of my skin. So I think I didn't even have to try on the other options. I don't think I would have liked them. I think it would have been too bleh for me. So now I have to actually pack for the entire trip, which shouldn't take too long. I've become a pro at this point, but gotta get on that so that way I can go pick up Devin from work and avoid traffic. I'm all packed to go. I have my clothes and things in this bag. I have all of my work stuff and filming stuff in this bag. That's Devin's bag that I'm bringing. And then these are a whole bunch of products that I have left over that I thought would be really nice to donate. My cousin's a nurse, so I thought it'd be really nice to donate it to the hospital, to all the nurses who work really, really long hours and tirelessly to keep everyone safe. So I'm gonna go take those to her when I'm home. I like to donate it to causes like that, or I like to give it away to you guys, so maybe the next time I'll do a little giveaway for the people watching my YouTube channel. Actually, I think I've been really consistent on YouTube and I thank you guys so much for watching my videos. It means a lot to me. I also have my outfit that's laying here. I think I'm gonna hang it in the car so that way it doesn't get wrinkled in my suitcase. I do want to avoid traffic, so I think I'm just gonna head over to Burbank. That's where Devin works, and just wait for him to be done with work. When he gets off of work, we can make the trek home. It's gonna be so crazy getting out of LA because everyone's going home. So we should get to San Jose probably around 11. That is my guess. So I'm gonna load up the car right now and just head out. I just got back from speaking at the school and it went really well. I'm gonna call my dad and tell him all about it, so that way you guys can hear about it too.
Hello.
Hey, is it a good time to talk?
It is. When I hear about it.
Cool. Sorry, I was driving and San Jose, like, freeways freak me out, so I wanted to focus. But it went really well. Okay, so you know how G works at a new school in San Jose? Well, he asked me last week to come to his school to speak for Hispanic Heritage Month. And at first, I thought it was just like his class, maybe 15 students, but it ended up being the entire school, which is like kindergarten through 8th grade. I got more and more nervous over the week because at first it was like, yeah, it's just my class. And then he'd call like a couple days later and be like, oh, it's actually like an assembly. He'd be like, it's like maybe 100 students. He'd call again and be like, actually, it's like 200 students. So it like just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I like got nervous and I was like, wait, okay. So I basically created like a 3-slide presentation, like super brief. I obviously like didn't want them to like get bored or like read stuff off of a slide. Yeah, especially because they're on the younger side. I was like, how do I keep their attention? Their school motto is eager to learn, ready to serve. So they kind of wanted me to tie in my talk with their motto. Started off with talking about giving like a brief introduction about myself, my school background, how I got to becoming a content creator, and all of that good stuff. And then I transitioned it into talking about like my family and my influences in life. So I talked about you, I talked about mom, I talked about my siblings and everything that they're doing, and like all the lessons that you guys have taught me and how I've applied that into my life. And then I kind of close it off with some pieces of advice, you know, not being afraid to dream big, and you know, once they have a dream, like dream even bigger because they have so much potential and can really push themselves. And I also tying it back to like also Hispanic Heritage Month, which is the whole reason why I went to the school. Be proud of who you are and emphasize how much representation matters. Like that's the reason why I do what I do on social media, is to share these stories and uplift our community and really motivate them to do great things and take charge of the spaces that they're in, to not be afraid to be that person if there's no one in the room that looks like them there. I got like such a good response from all the kids. They were all super like excited to meet me. I had so many of the teachers come up to me and be like, the little kids were so engaged with you and were really interested in what you had to say, and just everyone be so engaged. So that made me really happy. A lot of them came up to me and asked me for photos and pictures, and one girl actually brought your book. She asked me to sign it, so I signed it for her. They were like, oh, we should do this again, like maybe your dad can come, and you know, we would love to have him, we would love to have you. And they even offered like, if any of your other siblings want to come too, they can come. Like it could be like a whole big thing and stuff. So they were really excited.
Honed your skills to become a speaker.
Yeah, it was something that I enjoyed doing, and it was a cool experience. And if there are ever future opportunities, I would definitely love to do that. I'd love to accomplish more in my life, to be able to talk about more things. You know, I don't want to become a speaker that talks just about other people. So that's one thing of like, I was able to incorporate what I've accomplished in my talk a little bit, but I'm like, I still feel like I should accomplish more in my life to where more people would want to hear me speak and not just adjacently hear your story, you know? Definitely something I want to consider, but it was really fun for the start, you know. My bed sheets arrived. I'm so excited. We're gonna put it all together before we wash them because I need to decide if it looks good and I like it. And then once we decide that, we'll wash it. bed looks like. I really like it. I do like the blue sheets. The only thing I'm unsure about is how dark this navy blue is, but Devin says he really likes it. I think he only likes it because he's a boy, and this is a very boyish color, but it does add contrast to the room. Like, we have a lot of beige in here, so we wanted to add some depth and more color to it. And then if you look closely, this is stripes. I do like all the texture. What do you think?
I like it.
But I feel like you're saying I like it just so I don't return anything or worry about anything.
No, baby. Why would you think that?
Because that's exactly what you would do. I want your honest opinion.
It looks good. I like navy blue. My color.
But it's so boyish. Like, I'm wondering if a lighter blue would look better with this blue. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think about this. But I have to make the decision because I gotta return these if I don't like it. And then be honest with me. Do these pillows look too grandma? I like this one. I think this one's I'm like, I don't know.